Hi everybody, I am Missi Matthews. It is time now for Scouting by SiriusXM, and you can subscribe to SiriusXM's Best Package All Access and get your first 6 months for just $50. Fees and taxes apply. See offer details at SiriusXM/scouting. Joining me once again, former Steelers quarterback Bruce Gradkowski. Bruce, Steelers, Titans, both 5-0. They were undefeated the first time they were supposed to meet. This is probably, in my opinion, the best game on the Week 7 schedule. What do you think?
Oh, I'm excited. And honestly, Missy, I think this played out to everyone's benefit here. I mean, these two teams still undefeated a few weeks later, and now the hype is real. I mean, both legit teams. I feel like they're actually built very similar. I think really good leaders as head coaches. Vrabel played the game, good communicator, both of them. So, man, this is going to be a great matchup.
All right, Bruce, I want to start with Derrick Henry. Coach Tomlin said that is basically the equivalent of Bud Dupree carrying the football. So how did the Steelers even begin to stop him? We saw what he did last week in their overtime win.
Well, I think Tomlin's pretty accurate in that sense. I mean, the guy's a beast. I mean, and a lot of teams struggle tackling him. You have to gang tackle. You have to fly to the football. The Steelers do a phenomenal job defensively flying to the football and everyone getting in on that. They did a great job last week against the Browns, getting them to stopping the run. And I think that's the main key this week. But I look even more, Missy, to Ryan Tannehill. I mean, the guy is playing very efficient. Last week, his quick game, 1 of 9 yards, 18 to 19, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Very efficient, gets the ball out of his hands. And also, Missy, I have some concern with the play action pass. The Steelers haven't faced many play action passes this year per our PFF data. And, the Titans do a really good job at that. Offense coordinator Arthur Smith. So when you go to stop Derrick Henry, hey, you got to be aware of the little passes behind the linebacker. So I think the Steelers need to do a good job against the play action pass even more so.
All right, other than those two guys in terms of the Titans offense, who's the next name that Steelers fans need to know?
Well, I mean, look, they get some of their receivers back this week. They're very talented outside. And you have to think about Taylor Lewan. He's out with a torn ACL. I think this is going to be a big matchup for the Steelers defensive front to get after Ryan Tannehill. They have to take advantage of that. On the other side, Tennessee's done a good job all year protecting Tannehill. Number 4 in our PFF data with the least amount of pressures generated given up. So it's going to be a good matchup once again up front in the trenches to see who wins that battle. I think the Steelers have a big test this week, but I think they could pull it out.
All right, on the flip side, Ben Roethlisberger said after 5 games, he feels like they are a balanced offense. So what are they going up against in terms of this Titans defense?
Yeah, I mean, you figure Vrabel's a defensive guy. They're physical, they're tough. Mentally tough as well. And Ben's right. I mean, the Steelers are in a little groove. They're in a rhythm. I think they figured some things out last week against the Browns. They tried too many RPOs early in the game, and that's not always easy for the quarterback to read or adjust to. And I don't think Big Ben's a fan of that. So I want to see the Steelers do a better job in that sense and doing what Ben's comfortable with, because the Titans will switch up coverage. They'll try to confuse you a little bit. So, man, make it easy progressions. I love the quick game, the screens that they've been running, and getting the ball to the backs, and Chase Claypool. I mean, man, phenomenal. So let the big guy, Big Ben, drop back and throw. And if you do that, man, I think the Steelers can have some success.
In terms of Ben spreading the ball out, it seems like every game there's a different wide receiver who gets the, maybe the splash plays per se. James Washington was this past week against the Browns. Is that maybe overshadowing the fact that James Conner and the Steelers' run game are really effective this year?
Missy, they're all working well together, and that's what makes one more as successful as the other. James Conner is having some success because I love the way he physically runs the ball. Very tough guy. You think of just his background, everything he's been through. So he's a mentally tough football player, which I love. He never runs out of bounds. He lowers his shoulder. And that's great. And then you just talk about Washington. That route last week, the out and up, was spectacular. I mean, to watch the young guy continue to progress and the weapons Ben has, and he's spreading the ball around, this offense is fun to watch. So I think Randy Fichtner's doing a great job of really, spreading the love. It's Halloween. Pass the candy out to everyone. Let everyone get a piece. And I think Ben is doing a really good job being efficient and making smart decisions.
All right, well, it is almost Halloween, so I like the analogy with the candy. We'll see who gets a lot of candy in their trick-or-treat bag on Sunday in Nashville.
Well, I'm sure you're going to be ready with your kids at home all the Halloween. So I'm getting ready with my pillowcase, Missy. Maybe I'll come to your house and trick or treat.
All right, Bruce, thanks as always for your time. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, good luck.